So we are at the next subtitle. I don't know how to call these, but subtitle. So I feel like subtitles is like what appears when you watch a movie that you speak in a language that you don't know. But whatever. This subtitle is called "What Does All This Mean for You? The Two Mindsets." It's one thing to have pundits spouting their opinions about scientific issues. It's another thing to understand how these views apply to you. For 30 years, my research has shown that the view you adopt for yourself profoundly affects the way you lead your life. That's big. For 30 years, my research has shown, for 30 years, my research has shown that the view you adopt for yourself profoundly affects the way you lead your life. It can determine whether you become the person you want to be and whether you accomplish the things you value. I just realized I can do that. A little capture pad right here. And what I could do is, because I want to cut these little clips for TikTok videos as well. So I need to, because this is going to be a long piece of content. So I need timestamps. So timestamps just before 11 minutes. Okay, keep it close so I have it right here. For 30 years, my research has shown that the view you adopt for yourself profoundly affects the way you lead your life. It can determine whether you become the person you want to be and whether you accomplish the things you value. How does this happen? How can a simple belief have the power to transform the psychology and, as a result, your life? Believing that your qualities are carved in stone, the fixed mindset, creates an urgency to prove yourself over and over. If you have only a certain amount of intelligence, a certain personality, and a certain moral character, well then you'd better prove that you have a healthy dose of them. It simply wouldn't do to look or feel deficient in those most basic characteristics. That's an interesting insight. Some of us are trained in this mindset from an early age. Even as a child, I was focused on being smart, but the fixed mindset was really stamped by Mrs. Wilson, my 6th grade teacher. Unlike Alfred Binet, she believed that people's IQ scores told the whole story of who they were. Outliers showed me that that's not the truth. We were seated around the room in IQ order, and only the highest IQ students could be trusted to carry the flag, clap the erasers, or take a note to the principal. Aside from the daily stomach aches she provoked with her judgmental stance, she was creating a mindset in which everyone in the class had one consuming goal. Look smart, don't look dumb. That's fucked up. Who cared about or enjoyed learning when our whole being was at stake every time she gave us a test or called on us in class? Who cared about or enjoyed learning when our whole being was at stake every time she gave us a test or called on us? Nobody, probably. I've seen so many people with this one consuming goal of proving themselves in the classroom, in their careers, and in their relationships. I find myself in those situations sometimes. Every situation calls for a confirmation of their intelligence, personality, or character. Every situation is evaluated. Will I succeed or fail? Will I look smart or dumb? Will I be accepted or rejected? Will I feel like a winner or a loser? But doesn't our society value intelligence, personality, and character? Isn't it normal to want these traits? Yes, but there's another mindset in which these traits are not simply a hand you're dealt and have to live with, always trying to convince yourself and others that you have a royal flush when you're secretly worried it's a pair of tens. In the mindset, the hand you're dealt is just the starting point for development. This growth mindset is based on the belief that your basic qualities are things you can cultivate through your efforts, your strategies, and help from others. Although people may differ in every which way, in their initial talents and aptitudes, interests, or temperaments, everyone can change and grow through application and experience. Do people with this mindset believe that anyone can be anything? That anyone with proper motivation or education can become Einstein or Beethoven? No. Or Beethoven? I don't know how you say that. I don't know who it is, but I just don't know how to pronounce it. No. but they believe that a person's true potential is unknown and unknowable. That that it's impossible to foresee what can be accomplished with years of passion, toil, and training. I love that. I love it. Did you know that Darwin and Tolstoy were considered ordinary children? That Ben Hogan, one of the greatest golfers of all time, was completely uncoordinated and graceless as a child? I had no idea. That the photographer Cindy Sherman, who has been on virtually every list of the most important artists of the 20th century, failed her first photography course. That Geraldine Page, one of our greatest actresses, was advised to give it up for lack of talent. You can see how the belief that cherished qualities can be developed and create a passion for learning. Why waste time proving over and over how great you are when you could be getting better? That is awesome. That's great. Why hide different deficiencies instead of overcoming them? Why look for friends or partners who will just shore up your self-esteem instead of ones who will also challenge you to grow? And why seek out the tried and true instead of experiences that will stretch you? The passion of stretching yourself and sticking to it, even or especially when it's not going well, is the hallmark of growth. Is the hallmark of the growth mindset. I gotta mark that. The passion for stretching yourself and experiences. No, the passion for stretching yourself and sticking to it, even or especially when it's not going well, is the hallmark of the growth mindset. This is the mindset that allows people to thrive during some of the most challenging times in their lives. I want to keep reading about this. I want to keep learning about it. I want to adopt this freaking mindset to the fullest, as much as humanly possible.